You are better than who you think you are. Have you ever felt that sometimes you do not measure up because you are not created with certain qualities, and that is why you cannot be as successful as you are supposed to be? You may think that if only you were born in a different family, as a certain race, better looking, taller, better spoken, etc., then you would do better in life. Can I share with you that you are already created better than who you think you are? It is just that you do not realize it. When the creator of the universe formed you in your mother's womb, he had already programmed in you with all the DNA you need to do all you were created to do. In Psalm 139 verses 13 to 14, it says you are fearfully and wonderfully made. This is just like a structural engineer who calculates the load bearing before a building is constructed. He has to take into consideration the weight of equipment, number of people, earth movement, earthquakes, wind speeds, any natural forces like tornadoes, hurricanes, heavy rain, etc. much more when the greatest structural engineer of the universe creates you. He has already taken into consideration all that you are to go through in life and added extra to make sure you live a victorious and abundant life. When God appeared to Moses in the burning bush in Exodus 3, God wanted Moses to go and speak to Pharaoh to let the Israelites go. In Exodus 4, Moses said, "Pardon your servant, Lord, I have never been eloquent, neither in the past or now. Please send someone else." Moses cannot speak smoothly, is not persuasive, not fluent. Maybe a stutterer, and that's why he needed Aaron to speak. Moses is telling God, "You have made a mistake. You chose the wrong person. God, you have forgotten that I do not measure up because I cannot speak." Do you tell God that he made a mistake when making you? God, you forgot that I am created not that smart. You forgot I come from a different nationality. I am not made as leader material. I come from a broken family. My parents are poor, so I am disadvantaged since young. I cannot make the sales because I am not as pretty as her. If only I am taller. If only I speak better English. There is none in my family who is outstanding or famous, so am I, not like other people's children. My children cannot do big things because they take after me who is just mediocre, but the scripture said your children are mighty in the land in Psalm 112 verse 2, and on and on. The irony is that we thought God would make Pharaoh go easy on Moses so that he can speak easily to Pharaoh and lead the people out of Egypt without much problem. But instead, God hardened the heart of Pharaoh. Did God want to test Moses to give him a hard time to convince Pharaoh? No, God reminded and showed Moses that he has created his tongue and Moses is better for the job than he esteemed himself to be. In the end, Moses walked in all that God created him to be, including his so-called inadequate speech, and God's name together with Moses' name traveled far and wide. And all the nations around were afraid of this powerful man called Moses. Thus, Moses made history and glorified God. In fact, it is not a blessing if you try to walk like someone else besides what God has already equipped you to be. For example, when David was going to face Goliath in 1 Samuel 17 verse 38, David tried to dress like Saul with his armor, helmet, and carried Saul's sword. Instead of helping him, they became a hindrance, so David took it off. It looked like David was at a disadvantage without the armor, helmet, and sword, but in fact, he was already fully designed to do the battle just as he was created. This can be seen many times with people of the Bible like Ruth, Rahab, Samson, Peter, and on and on. Everyone had their shortcomings and seemed not to measure up, but God had already programmed in them more than what they needed to accomplish their tasks. God did not make a mistake. You are already created to be the best you. All you need to do is just agree with God and walk in it. If you think someone is sad and this will help a tiny little bit, you may forward it. You are better than who you think you are by God's grace. Happy reading and God bless. Samuel